election. You know what I mean? That already happened.
So we had an election here, and the person who got the most votes, it's a Democratic primary, but it's going to be a Democratic winner in the fall. Okay.
Right.
So it was this guy, Rick Caruso, white guy, billionaire, and Karen Bass. I know them both, like them both. Mm-hmm. She's a black congressperson.
Sure.
He beat her by 30 points with black men. What's up with that?
You know, it's hard to say, though, man. My dear brother, Mark Ridley Thomas, who I love like a brother who's been mistreated in so many different ways, that when I saw what Caruso did in his ad, I had real critique of that. And so that I have a certain suspicion of certain politicians who come flying in from the top with billionaire money and think somehow they're going to be messianic in terms of dealing with the mess that sometimes they actually help cause. Now, I'm not saying that in his case, but if I looked a little deeper, I might see some connection.
I wonder what it was. Maybe like if we looked at maybe if we looked at the socioeconomic conditions of the black people that were voting in general in a fucking primary in the state of California, we would come to find that first of all, the idea that black people are a monolith is silly. And secondly, we would find out that perhaps it's a rich man's game for the most part. And yes, this might come as a surprise, but there is a lot of rich black people, especially in places like California, that are going to, at that stage, vote along class lines and vote for their class interest. And someone like Rick Caruso is you know, a billionaire that is making a consistent and cohesive, clear message that he will melt poor people. It's a moment where class transcends racial dynamics.
So in that sense,
So he wasn't in politics before this.
No, and I know, but that's what it is. As you know, I mean, the organized greed has such an impact on our electorate.
Not to mention misogynies overall. Dude, come on. Don't do the misogynoir thing, okay? We're looking at like voter patterns analysis. Like, sure, the patriarchal attitudes obviously are important, but I think in this circumstance, like the reactionary attitude that a lot of people have, a lot of people hold on to, a lot of people maintain is like class is more prescient in my opinion than patriarchal takes in this circumstance. Don't talk about sexism. No, I think that it's also Karen Bass is not a good candidate. Like, sorry, that's another part that like is difficult for people to fucking swallow, but like she's dog shit, okay? There's that too. You have another fucking feckless neoliberal who is masking herself under the guise of progressivism that is not actually fucking progressive, going against a fascist billionaire who says he's going to offer real fucking solutions. This is what happens when the only understanding of progressivism for California liberals is just basically turn the other cheek when you see homeless people, okay? And then you get pumped a bunch of fucking fascist reactionary garbage in local news and in the media nonstop about like how no one is doing anything about the homeless problem and that like all these fucking pussy ass liberals just want to turn the other cheek to crime, and crime is pumping up. And crime is going crazy. Okay?
Political system that it makes it so truncated. We got a choice between neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden. Wow. Well, I'm so happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean? And you think of all the decent people in America, all the decent people in the country, how do we end up so hemorrhaged with these mediocre folk at the top?
I see Biden is, but I see Biden is down with his black folks. Can I just I've looked into this. Here's some of the things he's done.
Sure.
Appointed one of the most diverse cabinets in history. First, of course, black and female vice president. Directed federal agencies on the first day to address the impact.
Bro, this is awesome, dude. It's like, there you go. Appointed one of the most diverse cabinets in history. That doesn't mean anything, dude. It's just fucking aesthetic pandering When will dumbass liberals understand, okay? It's so pandering. Your assumption is that black people are fucking stupid, okay? Your assumption is like black people are too dumb to recognize their own material conditions and that the only thing that they care about is like, oh, wow, there's like a diverse cabinet. It's just aesthetic shit, okay?
Impacts of systemic racism, extended the eviction moratorium that disproportionately helped black families remain safe during COVID. Executive order to improve educational opportunities for black people. Barred the use of chokeholds. DOJ sued Georgia over discriminatory voting laws. His cash relief program cut black child poverty by 40%. And Juneteenth is now a federal holiday and first black woman to the Supreme Court. No good?
No,
None of it?
those are wonderful, given
But why do you call him milquetoast then?
I mean, he's milquetoast because he still is tied to Wall Street. He's got crimes of foreign policy.
I know, but he's a
that
politician.
Saudi Arabia is mistreating the Yemenites folk. The Israeli crimes against the Palestinians he's not going to say a word about. And look, he's in town right now. We just had the People's Summit, as you know.
I know.
Right across from him, right?
Well, we had the black poverty really being reduced by 40%. I don't believe that at all. All fucking the child credits were so effective, not just for black people, but black child poverty was reduced by 40%. Yes, the cash relief program straight up was incredible, dude. And of course, as is the case with like actual good fucking programs, it's gone. So, weird that I mean, this isn't even just about black people in general, though, by the way. And this is why I used to get very frustrated with like the media whenever they said like Bernie Sanders only talks about class, doesn't talk about black people in general. It's like, yo, motherfucker. Like, black people endure class-based violence, okay? And the Republican Party has masked its anti-black agenda under class-based solutions, okay? Like, if you are still trying to talk about this in like the 1960s terms, in the 1950s terms, you're going to always lose that argument. I thought this was well established. Okay? That's why they don't say the N-word anymore. That's why they say welfare queens. That's why they cut social safety nets. It's just the truth. Yes, I'm talking about Lee Atwater, obviously.
His cash relief program cut black child poverty by 40%. Eh?
Give the constraints on which
then. I
but
mean,
he's milquetoast because he still is tied to Wall Street. He's got crimes of foreign policy.
I saw this.
I know.
Right across from him, right?
Well, we had the
and
Summit
what
of
is he
the
doing
Americas.
with Latin America? We're on the cutting edge of human rights. We're USA in Latin America on the cutting edge of human.
Like, I don't think the American voters care about, Latin America and shit like that. I do agree with Dr. Cornel West that, like, those are glaring hypocrisies. But I don't think the American voters care about that. I think the American voters care about what's in their pocket and how much things are, okay? How much things cost and how much money they're making at their jobs. And if you don't fucking resolve those problems, then it doesn't fucking matter if you're like saying, oh, look, we put a black woman in the Supreme Court. Okay? That's it. It doesn't matter. When gas is too expensive, which, by the way, people say like, well, it's not Brandon's fault and it's happening across the world. Yeah, no, technically it is happening across the world. Inflation is happening everywhere. It's a consequence of our, global capitalist structure. It's a consequence of having an oil cartel run the entire supply. Okay? But you have stress valves as the American government. You should be able to bully and whip the fucking, national oil producers into submission. And if you're not going to do that, and if you're not going to fucking solve that issue, if you're not going to actually beat the shit out of our oil providers, okay, the middlemen, I don't know what to tell you. You're not doing your job. Just fucking say you're going to nationalize it. Say you're going to take away the subsidies. Anything.
Rights with one.
Do your white guy impression again.
We are on
Oh, that's great.
No, but all the precious brothers and sisters in Latin America, we overthrowing democratic parties. We in friendly terms with dictators. Let's just be honest and candid, and most importantly, though, brother,
let's be honest and candid and say we're living in the real world. Nobody gets everything. Nobody gets everything. It's like
you're
such an absolutist.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh my God, dude. It's just like, what the fuck is going on? Sorry. There's no one in my house, but I'm hearing like water pipes. And I don't know if it's my neighbors or what it is. No, Morales not here. Not ghosts, dude. Shut the fuck up. I'm at your house, bitch. Lamont. Okay. How is that a response to coups are bad? Dude, if we're gonna talk about it from an if we're gonna talk about like the American opinion on like the Democratic Party, I think like foreign policy doesn't factor into that as much. Americans care about the impact of our foreign policy, in the form of like where where our taxes go. Okay. Like, our taxes go and fund America's imperialist, bloodthirsty affairs overseas. Hold on. What the? It's the gardener, bro. That is a Marat moment. Okay? That is a Marat moment. He probably fucking... Oh my God. Motherfuckers be like rich people shit. Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah. I've never like lived in a fucking rental unit where there was someone who came in. It was a servant saved. Dude, I love leftists. Leftists are my favorite type of people because they're just literally like 90% of fucking gardeners in California are like small business owners that operate their own fucking business, okay? And motherfuckers are still like, yeah, it must be a slave, dude. Landscaper? Probably a slave. Yeah, dude. Unjustifiable hierarchies all around. Any excuse to drop solidarity? What? I think the bigger problem is people can have apathetic to politics and no longer care like Afghanistan. And the top of the year, at the top of the hour, people just don't care anymore. Fuck you, dude. So nice to watch someone who's as terrified as I am about people outside my house. I Got him, dude. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, okay? You no longer want to see those ads. All you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or you can do that for free with the Twitch Prime. Leftists immediately think that somehow a landscaper is below someone that hires them because they're typically small business owning immigrants. Yeah, 100%. Also, there's a reason why I get fucking understandably worried when I hear, noises outside of my house. It's a little bit different. Okay, Delightfully Small, thank you for the 3 gifted subs. And Mooney Swoony, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. The thin green line, brother, okay? The thin fucking green line, brother. Landscaper rights, all the way. Jeem State, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Anyway, here's the 1 minute ad break now. Fuck, I don't even know what I'm doing. When people who work full-time can't afford food, clothes, and housing and gasoline, the people in charge of government should be spending most of their time focused on that. Wait, this is actually true, though. Why is Marco Rubio spitting facts right now? Straight facts. Don, are you sad today? No. At 4:20 a.m., maybe he was puffing one, brother. 4:20 weed. I love weed. I love smoking weed. Did you see this hog watch? Wait, what?
I do want you to know I pray for our president. Psalm 109:8 says, "May his days be few and another take his office."
Damn. Paste. I don't really care about this. And I don't really care about this
Not
either.
at all.
All right,
But you
this.
are. I mean,
No,
okay, so.
no, not
but
really.
You're, like you mentioned, he's talking to Saudi Arabia. I agree.
You should reset the button.
Yes, of course.
committing crimes against the
It's a
President.
tremendous hypocrisy. He's a politician. That's what part of the gig is. Wait a second. Let me just finish.
Okay.
Yes, he doesn't want to invite the people to the Avenue of the Americas.
You got New York City on your mind.
City, the Summit of the Americas.
No harm in that. No harm in that. I live in Harlem.
Because he didn't invite Cuba and Nicaragua and Venezuela because they are led by dictators, which I agree is so silly because he's about to meet with Saudi Arabia because they have the gas.
And he's got a gangster from Brazil sitting with him, meeting in private.
But if you don't get the people gas, and the people have a lot of gas already.
Yeah.
If you don't get they're going to lose badly, but they're going to lose even worse. It's just going to elect a Republican. So this is the world that we live in.
Yeah,
people do have to make compromises,
That's
even
true.
good people.
But there's a difference between, and you know, based on your wonderful Ivy League training at Cornell University.
One of the few colleges you have not taught at.
Prudentia.
There's gas in Venezuela. Why doesn't he talk to the Venezuelan people and stop starving them? I don't know. I'm just saying that could be cool. Better way forward is possible. No, he has to fucking starve out the people of Venezuela to punish them, you know?
Right. Phronesis, practical wisdom is not opportunistic judgment. Just like pragmatism is not opportunism. If you make wise judgments relative to constraints, principles can be compromised, but the principles are still retained. Once you have very little principles, it's all about power, all about manipulation, all about spectacle, all about image. That's very much what American politics is about these days in both parties. Spectacle, superficial. And so when you say, well, if they're hypocrites, we got to allow for the hypocrisy. No, not at all, especially when you're blues men like you and I, because I know your sensibility in terms of how you wrestle with catastrophe. When you're a blues man or a blues woman, what does that mean? You're going to tell the truth with style and a smile no matter what the consequences are and walk off and say, I hope to do better, try again, fail better, like Samuel Beckett said.
Right.